people can have whatever opinion about President Trump. He's a politician. People should criticize him, disagree with him, whatever. But I remember my wife and I were watching one of the Die Hard movies, for Christmas. And there's a line in it where there's some kind of problem and the switchboard for a local area has to manage the phones for the entire city because of something that's happened. And the supervisor comes in and he tells the woman who manages it, you're going to have to deal with this. And she says, black woman, she says, if you think I'm going to do that, you think I'm going to marry Donald Trump.
They're shutting down the police band. All calls will be coming through this switchboard.
And I'm going to marry Donald Trump.
He's an aspirational figure 15 years ago.
Right.
And then when he ran for president, suddenly he became the worst person in the world. What do you think happened there?
I don't know if this is true or not, but he was in Home Alone 2. And I heard they took him out of the movie. They took his scene out of the movie because the little kid, Macaulay Culkin, supposedly runs into him on the street and they have an exchange. And I heard they took that out of the movie. It's literally mentally ill. I mean, everybody used to love Trump. Then the whole thing about him being a racist, they're like, oh, he's a racist, he's this and that. You talk to any black people that have ever had any interaction with Donald Trump running for president. I mean, he's the best. Tyson defends him to the death, know? And I know Tyson was getting a lot of shit for it in the beginning, but he is one of the greatest people that you'll ever meet.
And he's turned it around. I mean, the comeback it's like something out of the UFC in a way, right? Pretty crazy. When you buy seafood, what do you worry about most? Nutrition, sustainability, taste? I've asked all of those questions. This is why Wild Alaskan Company caught my attention. It is the best way to get wild-caught, perfectly portioned, nutrient-dense seafood delivered to your door. You have not tasted fish this good. When we first got a delivery from Wild Alaskan Company, it stood out immediately. The care that goes into it, the packaging, the clear sourcing, the attention to detail, you can tell this is a company that does things properly. What makes Wild Alaskan Company special is how they source everything. 100% wild caught, never farmed. No antibiotics, no GMOs, no additives. Just clean, real fish, frozen off the boat to lock in flavor and nutrients like omega-3s. You get flexible shipments, expert cooking tips, and a box that genuinely feels like it's come from people who care about what they're sending. My favorite variety is their Pacific halibut. Firm and meaty, it cooks beautifully in a pan or on the grill and goes with almost anything. And there's no risk. If you're not completely satisfied with your first box, Wild Alaskan Company gives you a full refund. No questions asked. Get seafood you can trust. Go to wildalaskan.com/trig for $35 off your first box of premium wild-caught seafood. That's wildalaskan.com/trig for $35 off your first order. Thanks to Wild Alaskan Company for sponsoring this episode.
Well, that's the other thing. When you talk about killer instinct, like we were talking earlier with certain athletes, there are other people in other walks of life, including business, that have it. And he's the most resilient human being I've ever met in my life. And I've been in the fight business forever.
You sure?
Fact. I mean, if you look at what he went through the last 8 years and how, and I don't care what side you're on, there's no way you believe that they weren't coming after him. They were trying to put him in jail. They're trying to break him financially, all that stuff. And that guy kept getting up every day and grinding. Yeah, it's inspiring. And he's almost 80 years old, and that guy doesn't sleep. He is a workhorse. I mean, he's nonstop. And how was I talking to one of his people a couple of days ago? But they were saying, the guy at the stock exchange, like, yeah, my wife works for him. And, she was in the cabinet, and he runs that team hard. Like when the night of the election, I was with him. And we were at Mar-a-Lago, and then we went to the convention center where he was announcing that he had won and everything else. But all the kids, these are all young kids that work for him in his campaign, they were fucking wiped out. For the last 3 weeks leading up to the election, this guy was flying to 3 or 4 different states and doing rallies. And all the young kids that work for him, I mean, it's a life-changing moment for them, but they were exhausted. And they were all crying and they're all celebrating. But it's hard to keep up with that guy. He's a beast.